What if I told you that Netflix has a movie starring Aaron Pierre called Rebel Ridge? It kind of reminds me of Jack Reacher meets Born Identity. If that's your type of thing, you definitely want to check out Rebel Ridge, y'all. What's up, and welcome to the Lawrence Report. Tonight's broadcast discussing my review of Rebel Ridge. Let's get right into it. But first, I gotta talk about the actor Aaron Pierre. This brother, star in Hollywood, is completely rising. I first noticed him back in Barry Jenkins' Underground Railroad series, right? After that, I saw him in this is absolutely one of my favorite shows right here, and I did a review on this right here myself, talking about Genius MLK. He absolutely bodied his role as Malcolm X. So good. And there are rumors swirling that he could be our next Jon Stewart and James Gunn's up-and-coming Lantern series that will be on HBO Max. If he is cast as Jon Stewart, I can easily see it. If he is cast as Jon Stewart, sign me up. I'm going to check it out anyway, but he would make a great Jon Stewart, y'all. So, Aaron Pierre, star is rising. I'm so happy for this brother right here, and I honestly do believe, he is going to be one of Hollywood's leading men. You can book it. It is on its way, y'all. And we will also see Aaron Pierre in The Lion King coming up this fall. I believe he's playing Mufasa, so that is going to be dope in itself right there. Now, this movie was directed by Jeremy Salerno also. But let's talk about his new movie, Rebel Ridge. But before we get started, it'd be greatly appreciated if you guys hit that subscribe button, like, and please do not forget to comment. Let's talk about Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge, I absolutely love this movie right here. From the start almost to the end. The ending kind of made me upset a little bit. We'll talk about it. But this is a action-packed thriller that I absolutely adored right here. But also, let's take a quick synopsis of what this movie is truly about. An ex-Marine grapples his way through a web of small-town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin, we don't play about our cousins, escalates into a violent standoff with a local police chief. And from there, it was definitely on and popping for sure. Now, Aaron Pierre in this role right here was so good. And the story in itself is basically a original, which I thought was pretty dope, right? And like I said earlier, it kind of reminds me of those espionage, spy thriller type movies, and shows, your Jack Reachers of the world, people and shows and movies kind of like that right there, right? And for me, when I saw Aaron Pierre, that he was casting this, I remember seeing the trailer. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be big. This is going to put him over the top right here. Now, and I do believe this right here. We have the fact that they made it original, and I could easily see this happening in real life. You know what I'm saying? There's no lie that we have, unfortunately, and I'm not going to try not to get too much into the political aspect or, the racial undertone that the movie had. But we do have, corruption. I think we all know that in our police departments, if we're being honest here, right? And, for Aaron Pierre, his character, Terry, he just wants to post bail for his cousin. I got this money. I want to help my cousin out, let me do this. But these cops are so bad, they're so crooked. And literally within the first 5 minutes, the movie definitely pulled you in to what they was trying to set up. Now, Terry, we know him to be, this ex-military guy, I believe was ex-Marine. And they find out that, everything in his past, they thought they knew his past, but man, he had those hands. Terry had those hands, those military style, combative hands. He was definitely about that action, right? Oh, I forgot to mention this. How could I forget this right here? That scene when he was on the bike. Oh man, it turns out, I saw another interview that was real, that he was actually out here on the bike, trying to get his cousin. We saw that right there. I was like, okay, that was real, that he was actually paddling his bike and doing his thing right here. I'm like, yo, I haven't ridden a bike in a while, but to go that fast the way he was going, props to him for doing that right there. Of course, we got our big bad villain as well. Chief Sandy, played by the one and only Don Johnson. Now, Don Johnson, aka Chief Sandy. Chief Sandy is like, listen, this is my town. This is my police department. How dare you, being a black man, who's pretty tall, kind of may have seemed to be intimidating. How dare you come into my town and tell me how you are going to try to run things, how you are going to try to get your cousin out, how you are trying to make deals. Like, that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? That, again, we know that kind of things happens in small country towns, right? And the one part for me, this is the one part for me. The action at the first part of the movie, great. But then somewhere in the middle, I dozed off. And I think I dozed off because we got too much in depth into this storyline right here about Summer. I think Summer's storyline for me, it kind of just made it boring. Like the middle act of the movie, I just was completely turned off. But they picked it up back at the end, right? And that was my only knock about the movie. That's my only dislike about the movie. But when it came down to that final showdown, that was what I needed to see. Final showdown was crazy. The guns, the smoke, all that was absolutely epic. But the one part that I hated was the ending. I'm like, y'all left it open like that. So it makes me wonder, will it be a part two? Is this all of the ending all together? I was not satisfied with that ending. I wanted more. I feel like I really didn't have closure. I feel like I didn't have a grand conclusion like I wanted. But other than that, I enjoyed Rebel Ridge completely. I really enjoyed it, except for the ending. So for me, my rating for this right here, I gotta give it a solid 9. That's my thoughts on Rebel Ridge, y'all. Be sure to comment. And Pierre, you're on your way, brother. We are rooting for you. If you're not seen Rebel Ridge, please check it out. Great, great, great movie. Please check it out. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.